Back at the dorm, I sorted through the pile of textbooks the school left for me. My radio was playing a poppy tune, equal parts music to static. My fervently scribbled in a notebook at her desk, hunched over it with strikingly poor posture.
Hey.
Hey, Mai?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't bother to look up.
Am I supposed to have a textbook for History 309?
She shuffled through the papers on her desk before producing a thick textbook. A demure man in a powdered wig frowned at me from the cover.
Yeah, this one.
I sighed.
I don't have that one. The school must have missed it.
Mai shrugged and set the textbook back in her pile.
They have a bunch at the library. You can just check one out. Where's the library?
Mai riffled through her notebook and wrote something down. She tore the page out and handed me a crudely drawn map.
Oh. Okay, well, I'll be back in a bit. That is not... Mai, she's been here for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'd say maybe a couple hours at this point, but still. Point stand, she hasn't been here for long. It took me at least 20 minutes to find the library. By the time I realized I was holding the map upside down, the sun was setting. The library was much larger than I expected. The walls lined from floor to ceiling with books of all sizes on rough wooden shelves. Intimidated, I headed for the front desk. A recognizably green and gray jacket was bent behind the counter. Normal boots? I briefly considered running away.
Hey.
Can I help you? Too late.
You tried, Hana.
Yep.
You tried.
Tried so hard.
Yeah, the school forgot to give me one of my textbooks. I was told I could get it here.
Which one is it?
The History 309 textbook.
He stepped from behind the counter and motioned for me to follow. We dodged between the aisles in a comfortable silence. He seemed friendly enough. I should say something. What was his name again? Shane? Gerard? John? No, not John.
Satch.
Ah!
So
Hana's
adorable.
voice is so adorable.
Huh?
Oh, you work here?
Of course he works here! He chuckled, dimples appearing in his cheeks. Yeah, I'm the librarian's assistant. It's my second year and I love it. I get to help people find books that speak to them. His eyes twinkled like a kid's on Christmas. Your book's right down here. He stopped at a row of thick, dusty books. Was this all history? And pulled out the book with the powder-wigged man I saw earlier.
Thanks.
He waved his hand. It was nothing. Do you need help with anything else? I wanted to make a good first impression on the Normal Boots Club, but I couldn't come up with anything.
No. Thanks.
Copacetic.
You're welcome. As we headed back through the cavernous library, my unease melted away. We weren't talking, but just being near him felt like being wrapped in a soft blanket. I resisted the urge to snuggle up to him.
Aw, Hana.
Hana, I feel like, you know, throughout this section of the game, they're going to be introducing you to all the Normal Boots crew, but I feel like she's, like, the most immediately attracted to Satch here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
anyway.
it's pretty equal.
Mhm.
Or, keep going.
Yeah. I mean, this is the only one that she talks about snuggling up to, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, we neared the front desk, stepping around a clump of studying students. As we passed, one of them shifted. Something white flew past my face. A thick piece of triangular paper lay at my feet. I bent over and picked it up. It was surprisingly heavy. There was a quarter inside of it. If If I was just a hair slower, it would have hit me in the face. The student snickered, and I recognized the boys that made fun of my hair this morning among them. My heart dropped. I scanned my memory for anything I might have done to offend them, but came up with nothing. My hand started to shake. I hid it behind my back, trying to think of some way to defend myself.
Why did you do that?
Eh? What do you mean? We were just messing around. Are you suggesting we did it on purpose? I faltered. There was nothing I could say. I was outnumbered. They would twist my words around no matter how straightforward I was.
No, Sorry.
One of the boys held his hand out for the paper. I inched closer to giving it to him, angry at myself for being so compliant. I wish I were... A gentle warmth closed over my hand and took the paper from me. Satch examined the paper closely. I see what the problem is. Your aim would be better if you cut the corners before you folded it. He placed the paper on the table. The boy looked at him in sheer awe. Be careful, though. You almost hit her, and that would have been awful. My hands began to sweat as panic shifted through me, afraid of the response, but... Geez, we're sorry. We'll be careful next time. Yeah, it was an accident. They apologized? Thanks, I appreciate it. He gave them a wide smile and continued off down the aisles. I followed closely behind, my legs weak. Don't tell me they stopped because of him, simply because I was with him? I wanted to thank him, but my heart was pounding so hard I knew my voice would shake. We reached the front counter and he scanned the history book. My lips trembled as I willed myself to say something, anything to thank him. He tilted his head to the side. What books do you like to read?
Fiction?
He chuckled.
Fiction is like the most broad category.
This is true.
Oh.
I just finished a good book. I think it'd be right up your alley if you don't mind my saying so. He reached under the counter, pulled out a thick green book, and passed it to me. A man in black stood in the front, hugging a woman in royal robes. It's long, but it's one of my favorites. The Princess Betrothed. I know things can be tough transferring to a new school. If you're ever worried, just read this. It'll transport you 100 miles away in a second. Tears stung my eyes, so I ducked my head.
Satch.
Aww.
Hana. Oh, Hana. Thank you, Satch. For more than just the books.
You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I got your name.
My name is Hana.
Well, she said it.
I'm a transfer student.
Hana.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Hana. Let me know how you like the book.
I will.
That couldn't have gone better. Not only was Satch impossibly kind, but being around him felt easy, refreshing. Like being doused in the mist of a waterfall. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? My cheeks hot, I left the library, 2 surprisingly heavy books under one arm. I settled into bed, eager to get started with my new reading material, but Mai was sitting at her desk, carving a pencil idly into the pages of a notebook. Every few minutes, she released a long, drawn-out sigh as the lead of her pencil whined against the paper. I lowered my book and took the bait.
Is something wrong, Mai?
She let out another dreary sigh.
I hope Jared notices me this year. Does Jared know you like him?
Mai whirled around in feigned shock.
What?
I don't like Jared. Oh.
I closed my book and set it aside, deciding to play along.
Well, have you at least tried talking to him? No, I mean... I have before. Why don't you try it again?
She bobbed her head from side to side, considering this like it never crossed her mind before.
Yeah. Maybe I could do that.
Satisfied, I picked my book back up.
Have you ever had a boyfriend, Hana?
Just going right into it then.
What?
I mean, why not? Huh? Me? No, never.
Really?
Never? Never. I bet you 10,000 yen that you meet a totally cute boy here and fall in love by the end of the school year. You're crazy.
I buried my face back in my book, barring Mai from any further discussion. Fall in love by the end of the year? Me? If I were a betting kind of girl, I'd take that bet. Alright, I think this might be a good place to stop for now. You think so?
Sounds good to me.
Alright, so with that said, let's take a look at this right here real quick. So basically there's this notebook, and every day that takes place, there's going to be a new entry. So here's the first entry. Dear Diary, today is the day I finally go to Asagao Academy. I couldn't sleep at all last night. When my dad dropped me off at the train station, he held my hand and stroked my hair. You look like your mother did, he said. But he didn't elaborate. I miss Mom. I miss Dad. But hopefully this will be my fresh start. And then, Dear Diary, things seemed to go well yesterday, and thank goodness for that. I've seemed to have somehow made a friend named Mai, and she's really cute. Oh man, I'm lucky to have her on my side. She seems so popular and kind. Aside from that, I ran into this group of guys called the Normal Boots Club. They're really popular. I wonder whether I could get in with them too. But
He's already thinking about getting in with those guys.
Yep. Alright, so
Ugh.
I think that about does it for now, so I've been Mr. Game Pie. And she's been Renee.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time!
Bye.